So this is Keith at Down Redwood Groves, and today we're working on the egg laying nest. I have a symmetry system here. I got 4 nests on this side and 4 on the other side. For a laying nest, you say you want 1 foot square or cube. So what I did is my opening is 14 inches and it is 53 inches long. I'm using 1-inch boards, so if you take the 4 inches of that 53, that gives you 49, and so it gives me a little over a foot for each board. And what I did is I spaced everything out. I have a 1x8 and then a 1x6 that gives me 13 inches out, and I used 12-inch boards and cut it through. These 12-inch boards are 13 inches tall, and then I took at the end, I went 12 inches, and I found where it's going to come up to the trim. I picked a spot. This board actually a little worse, but you can see in this one here, it came up to the trim here. So what I want to do is the boards will sit here flat, and that'll give me a taper for the roof opening of the nest, so I can go in and get the eggs, but it'll allow the water to shut off. So what I did is I put the 1x8 on the sheet opening, screwed that down, and then I took these plates and I pushed them in, and I've screwed them into the wall, and I've screwed that down, and then I screwed the 1x6 into these boards to hold it up, and now I can put my fascia will sit on this board and close it off. So that's where we're at right now. I've done both sides that way, and it is time to continue moving forward. So we've got the roof is all on. It's capped. I did put a ridge vent in, and I did put overhangs. I've sealed pretty much all the overhangs. However, when I put the board on that I'm going to be anchoring, sunlight's in there. You can see there's a gap there. So there is an opening, so we should get a good overhang venting. So hopefully this roof will be working out pretty good. Board and batten, used a 2-inch batten. I used 1x6 on the corners to cap the ends. This is an interior door, but I had a couple extras from the house build, and so we're going to put it on. We'll seal it with exterior paint, and it'll last as long as it lasts, and if not, then we'll build another door for it. But it looks nice. Got through here. We went through, I put in cap for the laying nests. I used a 0 clearance hinge. Those hinges, when they close together, they actually just do 1 material thickness versus the 2 material thicknesses. Got them at I don't remember which box store, but priced them out. They were just as economical as your standard door hinge, and you only needed to notch 1 material versus the thickness of both hinges. Used locking clamps to lock the door. I hinged from the back out so that we can reach down in. That allows me to put a solid roof on and not worry about a hinge or allowing moisture to leak through here. On that issue, we did start staining the back. We got the back stained. And we did put one of the dog kennels that we got at Tractor Supply up for the run, getting ready to move the chickens over here. So again, today adventure is putting in the windows. So I bought these are 17 by 23.5 windows, you can see right there. And we're going to put 2 of these, 1 on each side, just to give some sunlight and some more air for the chickens. So minimum open is 18 by 24 inches. So I found the center of the building, found that drawing, scribed top line, came down 18 inches, and then I did 12 and 12 using a standard square. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cut these openings out. Okay, so what I did is I cut the top line, cut that across all three pieces. I did stop the saw blade short, so I'll have to take a handsaw and cut the corners out. I could not bring the saw blade up high enough that the front of the saw started hitting the overhang, so it's just gonna give me a little bit more hand sawing to do. No big deal. So now I'm going to cut the bottom line and we'll start cutting these pieces out. So we got the two pieces out. Now we're just going to work on trying to get this last piece out. I thought I'd show you just how to do one. See if I can get this thing in here. It's that simple. Doesn't take much. Now let's fit the window. Okay, so the window will just slide in like that, and now I'm just going to frame around it and see how that looks. I don't think I need to add any more support or structural anyways, so I'm just going to take the top trim piece, this little 2-inch piece here. See if I can do this with one hand. And not easy. Let's pause that for a second. Okay, with two hands I was able to get that. The trim piece is in. I got it kind of captured in. Unfortunately, there's a knot right there. And I cut my boards to be 1 inch thick, not cut 1 inch, and then lose the blade thickness. So with that knot, it's just a little thicker than I'd like it to be, and it's kind of hard to slide in there. I'll let it sit for a little while and see how that's going to work, and see if I can't maybe pry it up a little bit more. But for now, we're going to leave that alone there, and we'll get ready to trim the rest of the pieces in. And hopefully everything will work okay. So I put everything up, got the top trim piece over here, got it into the window frame, and I nailed this into place. I took the other three pieces, cut them. What I found that I needed to do is, because this is rough cut, the edge is square where your normal box store wall or wood is usually got a little bit of a radius on the edge of it. So what I did here is I just took a jackknife and I just chamfered off the inside edge of both sides, and that allowed me to push it into the unit. So I've got everything nice and snug. So all I'll do now is I'll just take my finish nailer, and I'm going to put it real close to the edge, because what I want to try to do is nail and catch, go through the plastic of the window frame, and that should hold this window nice and tight. Switch hands here for that. And we look good. So now I'll do the other window, and we'll finish up the board and batten on this side here. I still got to put a roof over the laying nests, and this thing is finished framing.
You paint? Show me how you paint. Such a good job. Look at you go.